welcome to Sundry Weekend News. We begin with sports. Start in Cowboys Wire, brought to you by USA Today. Cowboys news, breaking down Kellen Moore, trading Tank away? This is how I read this last time. Trading Tank, way to a Super Bowl? And I already clicked on this the other day. And no, I do not believe that trading DeMarcus Lawrence away would be a good thing. Despite a new coaching staff, an abundance of fresh faces on the roster, and a shortened training camp and preseason, the Cowboys still have solid depth, solid stock. 2021 mock draft. Who cares? A tight end, quarterback, and safety walk into a Cowboys bar. The NFL season has a very different look to it in 2020, so there is no harm in looking ahead in attempts to picture the hopefully back to normal way of life. COVID-19 tracker. Players on Cowboys 2020 schedule who opt out or test positive. I don't know why they equate those two. Not equate, but why do they put them together? Because testing positive doesn't mean that you're out of the season, because you only have to stay quarantined for 2 weeks. And if you're asymptomatic, they shouldn't be forcing people to quarantine anyway. It's just ridiculous. The NFL is facing quite the unprecedented year. Protocols. Excuse me, I'm just so tired of this. Protocols have been set in place to launch a safe and effective training camp. However, no matter how hard you try, things will happen. And that is the sort of viewpoint that I wish the world would go back to embracing, because we had an entire world of people who would go out every day and drive cars or just walk down the street, go to work. You know, no matter how hard you try, you can't really be perfectly safe doing anything, because you could die doing anything. And yet now, everything we do is dictated by fear. And it's irrational fear, because it's a fear of a disease that kills less than 1% of the people that get it. And if you take out the elderly and people who already have deadly diseases already, then it's an even smaller chance. It's like no chance at all. And yet, we live our lives based on fear now. Except for some people. Some people have to live their lives based on needing to keep their job or needing to not go to jail, which is why we all have to wear masks, even though it does nothing and it's an illusion of safety, and it makes me feel like I'm going insane, because it's really the whole world that's insane. But if the whole world is insane and you're the only sane person, then basically you are the insane person, and that's just fucking maddening. Tough guy and I. Cowboys rookie edge to torn Utah production into pro career. Turn. God damn. Oh, my eyes aren't working for me. Ugh. Cowboys rookie edge to turn Utah production into pro career. If there is one player from the Dallas Cowboys 2020 draft class that has a chance to make an immediate impact and outperform where they something, I'm guessing you're going to say that it's this guy, Anai. His first name is Bradley, I think? Bradley Anai, does that sound right? Vori. Work from home in comfort. Shop the Ponto Pant. What does that even mean? Is it Italian? What does it mean? Under pressure. Cowboys Prescott and Dalton, born in it and molded by it. Well, sometimes folding to it. case of Dak, I don't... Oh, sorry. I don't really know Dalton's history very well. Sibling rivalry. Cowboys rookie cornerback Trevon Diggs sharpened offseason skills versus brother Stephon. Very good. That's good. Cowboys news. COVID opt-outs, roster dropouts, blah, blah, blah. Stephen Jones, Cowboys Super Bowl would create more value for Prescott's new deal. Well, yeah. I mean, that's pretty obvious, but I'm hoping, I think this sounds like, and I'm hoping what he's saying is that, Dak needs to give us something before we give him anything else. He was a little too high and mighty. He turned down a great deal. So now he needs to prove himself. I hope that's what Stephen Jones is saying, because that is how it should be. Francis Bernard has chance to go from undrafted free agent to Cowboys linebacker rotation. I guess, is there a little bit of room, since they've said that Sean Lee is going to be in mostly a supporting role this season? Cowboys still richest sports franchise in the history of Earth. Good. God's in his heaven and all's right with the world. Although, not really. But at least that's one thing that hasn't changed. Now we have the Cowboys Wire from today, August 2nd. And it starts with the same top story, which is the same news that I clicked on the other day. Prescott number 1 in 2016 redraft. Cowboys Elliott drops out of top 10. So you imagined a new draft from 2016 and put Prescott at number 1? Whatever. I think Elliott should be number 1. Not even in the top 10? That's ridiculous. The 2016 NFL Draft will always be memorable for Dallas Cowboys fans. It was the first time the Cowboys picked in the top 5 since some time. I'm so sorry. How rude of me. I should really start pausing it when I start to yawn, because these are big yawns. COVID-19 ends Cowboys kicker competition before it starts. Forbath released. Dallas Cowboys 2020 kicking competition was over before it even began. After struggling through a season and a half of Brett Maher missing more... Okay. Missing more than 1 out of every 4 field goal attempts, it appeared the club was ready to let the best kicker win, as they had not 1 but 2 kickers with resumes entering the season. Maher had been anointed as Dan Bailey's successor when it came to Cowboys kicking duties, but 10 misses in 13 games led to his release in December 2019. The team signed Kai Forbath, who hit all 10 of his field goals and all 10 extra points, and then promptly resigned with the team back in March. The team then raised the ante, signing former Los Angeles Rams kicker Greg Zuerlein in the spring, leading many to think there was going to be true competition for the role based on camp performance, but it will not be. Forbath was released on Saturday. Re-signed. Promptly re-signed with the team back in March. Yeah, that's the exact same spelling as resigned. I think there should be a dash between the re and the signed. Okay, so we still had Forbath, and then they signed Greg Zuerlein, but now Forbath has been released. A tweet from John Machota. The Cowboys have released kicker Kai Forbath, who was 10 for 10 on his field goal attempts last season after signing with Dallas in December. Former Rams kicker Greg Zuerlein signed a 3-year, $7.5 million deal with the Cowboys in March. The job is his. Forbath was expected to compete for the starting role with Zuerlein, who signed a $7.5 million deal with the Cowboys in March. Now he hits the free agent market with a $137,500 signing bonus as a consolation prize. As the only kicker currently on the roster, is Zuerlein's job going forward, and he has a pretty solid resume. The best stretch of his career was from 2016 to 2018, when he made 84 out of 93 field goal attempts. In 2017, he earned his only Pro Bowl and All-Pro nods. Since entering the NFL in 2012, Zuerlein has hit on 201 out of 245 field goal attempts, 82%. However, he only connected on a 72.7% clip in 2019, which was the second lowest of his career. That's why many assumed the team would wait to make sure Zuerlein was all the way back before releasing Forbath. But the NFL's COVID-19 roster rules mandate teams be down to 80 players before camp practices start on August 17th. That is such bullshit. What a stupid fucking rule. One reason for optimism about the Zuerlein signing is it reunites him with the Cowboys' new special teams coordinator, John Fassel, who was hired in January. The Cowboys are hoping a fresh start and 8 years of familiarity with an old coach can get Zuerlein back to being Greg the Leg like before. Forbath has been an accurate place kicker over the last 4 seasons, nailing 89.9% of his kicks across stints with 4 different organizations. His downfall, though, is that his leg isn't very powerful, and that hinders him on kickoffs. Wait. Didn't Maher didn't he just set a couple of records 2 seasons ago? Or last season? I feel like he set a distance record. Am I wrong? Am I remembering wrong? At least for a distance record for the Cowboys, maybe? I want to say it was 56 yards. Over the same stretch, he's had touchbacks on just 52.3% of his kickoffs. His career percentage is under 40%. Okay, I guess if you're talking about the kickoffs. Meanwhile, Zuerlein has touchbacks on 73.7% of his kickoffs over the last 4 seasons. The Cowboys could use less forced-on-them drama on special teams, especially considering how potent their offense should be. Limiting return opportunities may be a key component. Alrighty. That was on the last one. Mock draft for 2021, yes. Cowboys News 2020 breakout candidates. Refs may struggle out box with no help. That sounds new. Why did they bury it down here? This is from August 1st, from yesterday. Why? Whoever is responsible for organizing the headlines on the Cowboys Wire emails needs to be fired. The NFL was ready to implement serious changes in the way on-field officials communicated with the replay officials, but without a preseason to test, the league has ended that experiment before it got started. Aha. Another reason why it would have been nice if the Players Association weren't a bunch of fucking douchebags. The Dallas Cowboys have a chance to have one of the best records in the league in 2020, but it could depend on a few players having their breakout seasons. 2 players to watch who could become household names include safety Xavier Woods and cornerback Chidobe Awuzie. You spelled that wrong. Another young corner, Trayvon Diggs, spent the summer competing with his all-pro brother, and many are placing high expectations on the Alabama product. Plus, the latest from Stephen Jones regarding the future of Dak Prescott and the Cowboys. Expanded booth-to-official communication nixed for 2020. The NFL was ready to test expanded booth-to-official communication this upcoming season, but with no preseason to test things out, the league has chosen to wait to implement these new technologies. No preseason along with no camp visits, so the refs can warm up before the regular season? Yikes. What did I fucking say? The preseason has value. I didn't even know about this, that they were going to test some new stuff, but the Players Association really screwed things. That's really annoying. Stephen Jones. Cowboys Super Bowl would create more value for Prescott's new deal. Many believe that the Cowboys' inability to sign Dak Prescott is not the Cowboys' inability. It was Dak Prescott's inability to accept anything. Sign Dak Prescott to a long-term deal this offseason points to Prescott not being Dallas' quarterback of the future. Stephen Jones recently voiced his opinions on the matter, and Jones believes just the opposite. Really. 20 questions. Which players are primed for a big season? Michael Gallup, that's yes, probably. Xavier Woods and Chidobe are all massively important to the Cowboys' success in 2020. But which one is most likely to break out and become a Pro Bowl level player? Oh. Well, with CeeDee Lamb, Michael Gallup might be held back a touch. So, good question. The Cowboys staff writers debate the biggest breakout candidate heading into the season. And since we still have Amari Cooper, and now CeeDee Lamb, yeah. Every NFL franchise's best team of the Super Bowl era. One of Cowboys' 90s teams cracks all-time list. CBS Sports determined the best team ever for each NFL franchise. The Cowboys have 5 Super Bowl winning teams to choose from. Follow the link above to find out which Dallas roster made the cut. Is this the kind of stuff they do every summer? Or is this summer special because of the huge dearth of interesting news? Cowboys still richest sports franchise in the history of Earth. 5 years ago, the Cowboys became the most valuable sports franchise in the world, and they haven't looked back. Only 5 years ago? Forbes ranked the most valuable sports teams, and the Cowboys were first again, and by $500 million this year. Very good. Cowboys season preview, projecting floor and ceiling for 2020 record. The Cowboys had one of the best offenses in football a year ago, and an average defense, but that shouldn't add up to an 8-8 record. One of the best offenses? And I take offense at your average defense. That's not entirely true. NFL Network previews all the aspects of the Cowboys' upcoming season, including a best-case scenario projection and a worst-case scenario projection. A tweet from Dallas Cowboys. Views from the Star in Frisco as Dallas Cowboys make visible changes. Why? Why do you have to show people this? Is this not depressing for everybody? It should be. It's fucking depressing. Sibling rivalry. Cowboys rookie cornerback Trevon Diggs sharpened offseason skills versus brother Stephon. Without a traditional offseason, it has been harder for NFL players to get their regular training regimen in. All the more reason why a preseason would have been nice. Luckily for rookie Cowboys cornerback Trevon Diggs, he and his Pro Bowl brother Stephon Diggs have used each other to improve their skills this summer. Mailbag. Configuring a COVID-19 practice squad? In the latest edition of Mailbag, Cowboys staff writers Dave, are we allowed to have practice squads? With the whole 80 cut down before even training camp thing? I know the roster has to be 80, but that's usually after training camp. So are we sure practice squad is allowed? Cowboys staff writers David Hellman and Johnny L. Ping do their best to answer fan questions. This edition's questions revolve around how teams will use the practice squad in this unique season, and does Devin Smith have the best shot at becoming the 4th Cowboy wide receiver? Francis Bernard has a chance to go from undrafted free agent to Cowboys linebacker rotation. The Cowboys wire player profiles continue as Francis Bernard is up and has a legitimate shot to shoot up the linebacker depth chart. Cowboys rook Tyler Biadasz speaks on concrete message, camp safety, injury. The rookie center dives into Mike McCarthy's message to the 2020 Cowboys team, addresses his past injury, and claims he's 100%. Okay. Moving on. Tough Guy and I. Cowboys still richest sports franchise. sibling rivalry, and under pressure. Nothing else new. Alrighty, that's it for Cowboys Wire. Now we shall move on to the news. Here we have the Daily Shapiro for yesterday, Saturday, August 1st. The left's willingness to tolerate violence should frighten all Americans. Oh, it does. Well, maybe not all, but yes, you're absolutely right. And it's so strange when just words can be deemed violence and are intolerable. Somehow, actual physical violence can be tolerated. It's just so weird. Mostly peaceful. So goes the characterization of demonstrations that have routinely turned into looting and rioting for months on end, from Portland to Seattle to New York to Los Angeles. Protesters in California set fire to a courthouse, damaged a police station, and assaulted officers after a peaceful demonstration intensified, read one recent ABC News tweet. When you intensify peace, it just gets more peaceful. So obviously it wasn't peaceful to begin with. CNN called protests in Portland mostly peaceful, adding that they have at times devolved into violence, vandalism, and arson. What have I been... I have been saying this since this whole thing started. When you've got the people that are doing the violence and the looting and the rioting, anybody who's even trying to engage in peaceful protesting, everybody is at fault because they give the rioters legitimacy by being out there, by giving them protection in some cases. Everybody is at fault when this shit happens. Most masks are useless. Click here to see why. Watch. First NBA player not to kneel, an ordained Christian minister. We can get past skin color. It would be nice if his teammates would listen to him. Watch. Protesters burn Bibles in Portland. Rip protective boarding off buildings. Burning Bibles. You know what a Bible is? It's a book. You know who else burned books? The Nazis. That's where we are. We are there. DC Mayor exempts John Lewis funeral attendees from city's quarantine restrictions. Oh, shocking. As long as you're participating in the right activities, you can't spread the COVID. It's like magic. It's amazing. There's some ads. And here's the Daily Shapiro for today, Sunday, August 2nd. Dr. Alveda King blasts Obama for politicizing John Lewis funeral. Leftists will grab at any opportunity. This is true. So true. And it's honestly, it's particularly true of Obama because, as I've said before, he politicizes every single thing that he does. It's like his secret power. It's not secret. It's his superpower. It's his secret talent. It's his own little special thing that he does. He's always done it. Politicizing and making money off of everything that he does. Pro-Trump grandma outs grandson after recognizing him allegedly throwing explosive in Portland. And that's after she apparently bought him his fancy protective vest that he was wearing for his rioting fun. Very nice. Black man erupts at BLM for blocking road. I got to go to work. I got bills. I got kids. Get the fuck out my way. What a nice man. I'm being serious. Good for him. Very good. Everybody should be trying to get back to work. And those who never had any work to go back to, yes, need to get the fuck off the street. Former Clinton admin official. Biden should not debate Trump because it will help Trump. Yeah, that's what we're all looking forward to. It's gonna be fun to watch. Maybe a little sad. But, yeah, there should definitely be debates. Historic NASA manned SpaceX capsule returns to Earth, lands in Gulf of Mexico. And I'm assuming everybody's still alive, so cool. Very good. You won't believe what Elon revealed in a private closed-door meeting. Watch the video not intended for the public. The Ben Shapiro Show. Unlock the full 3 hours of The Ben Shapiro Show live, on demand, and on the go with an insider membership. Just $10 a month. You might like all these ads. And that's it for the Daily Shapiros. Wait. Let's go in order by date. Starting with yesterday's August 1st, Daily Yahoo. Ex-Ellen DeGeneres Show employees claim culture of rampant sexual misconduct in new report. So now it's not just abuse, it's sexual now. Ellen DeGeneres' apology to her talk show staffers regarding allegations of workplace toxicity has prompted new charges about the daytime show. That's, the perfect illustration of how this goes. You capitulate and grovel, and they just come after you harder. There's no recourse. There's nothing. There's nothing that you can do. So honestly, it's better to stand up for yourself rather than be pathetic. 'Cause you really will have nobody on your side if you make yourself pathetic. Supreme Court won't halt challenged border wall projects. Won't halt. Okay, good. Yes, good. The Supreme Court declined by a 5-4 vote Friday to halt the Trump administration's construction of portions of the border wall with Mexico, following a recent lower court ruling that the administration improperly diverted money to the project. The court's 4 liberal justices dissented, and thank goodness somebody didn't jump across the aisle like they've been doing recently. I mean, if the Supreme Court has to be politicized with the 4 liberal justices, then yeah, we have to hold some political line. They started it, and this is good. Especially since a big part of the spike in infections in Texas and Arizona, and probably New Mexico, I'm not sure about that. Is there a spike in New Mexico? Anyway, that's due to infected people coming across the border from Mexico and filling up the hospitals down there. I'm not just saying that. You can look it up. Trump nominee hearing pulled after furor over Islam remarks. A Senate committee abruptly canceled a confirmation hearing Thursday on a controversial former general's nomination to a top Pentagon post after a furor over offensive remarks he made about Islam and other inflammatory comments. I'm sure. Okay, now I have to see what he is supposed to have said. The nomination of retired Army Brigadier General Anthony Tata to be the Pentagon's Undersecretary for Policy was already under fire from Senate Democrats who sent a letter to him this week calling for him to withdraw. Tata, a staunch supporter of President Donald Trump and a Fox News commentator, has been working in the department as a senior advisor. It wasn't clear Thursday if his nomination would be withdrawn. According to media reports, Tata posted tweets in 2018 calling Islam the most oppressive, violent religion I know of. That's not necessarily untrue. Look at Sharia law. And he called former President Barack Obama a terrorist leader and referred to him as Muslim. Well, if the shoe fits. The tweets were later taken down. The Senate Armed Services Committee Chair, Senator Jim Inhofe, Republican, Oklahoma, announced the hearing's cancellation shortly before it was scheduled to start. There are many Democrats and Republicans who didn't know enough about Anthony Tata to consider him for a very significant position at this time, Inhofe said. Isn't that what the hearing is for? He said the panel didn't get required documents from Tata until Thursday. As I told the president last night, we're simply out of time with the August recess coming. Just don't take so many fucking recesses. Honestly, these people take vacations. Every month? Is it every month? Because it really seems like it. This is the August recess. Probably they refer to a recess every month as the that month recess. So it wouldn't serve any useful purpose to have a hearing at this point, and he agreed. Honestly, why do they take so many recesses? When did that happen? When did that become normal? I don't understand. Jonathan Hoffman, the Pentagon's chief spokesperson, told reporters that Tata continues to work as an advisor to Defense Secretary Mark Esper. The department was looking forward to General Tata having the opportunity to share his experience and success leading large public sector organizations, and his extensive national security experience with the committee today, Hoffman said during a Pentagon briefing. Asked if Esper supported Tata's tweets on Islam, Hoffman said, "The general himself has stated that he does not believe or support the comments he made. He issued a letter to the committee retracting those statements." The committee's top Democrat, Senator Jack Reed of Rhode Island, said the senators had a closed-door meeting on Tuesday, and Inhofe did the right thing by canceling the hearing. "It's fair to say members on both sides of the aisle have raised serious questions about this nominee," Reed said. "I'm sure serious questions could be raised about you, or about anybody in your little closed-door meeting." According to a statement from the senators who sent the letter, Tata walked back his statements, many of which he deleted only after his nomination became public. They said Tata referred to the tweets as an aberration in a 4-decade thread of faithful public service. Okay. Oh, Islamic groups have repeatedly called for lawmakers to oppose Tata's nomination. That's it. Back. Coronavirus update. Fauci and CDC face Congress as U.S. coronavirus cases spiral higher. The U.S.'s troubled response to the coronavirus panic was on display Friday as the Trump administration's top health officials testified before Congress, warning that the virus's spread would likely continue for some time. I don't know why we're supposed to be so surprised by this. Initially, it was supposed to be flatten the curve, not to stop people from getting infected altogether, just to stop it from happening all at once so that the hospitals didn't get overwhelmed. And by golly, the hospitals did fucking not get overwhelmed. So that was a roaring success, in a way. Some hospitals had to close, I believe. But it was just it was to spread out the cases. It should have been expected by everybody that pretty much everybody was going to get it at some point. We have the wrong point of view. And the health experts are not even admitting this anymore. They're not admitting to the fact that everybody was always expected to get it sooner or later. The one promising coronavirus stock no one knows about yet. Perhaps the least known COVID-19 stock on the market right now is a small Israel-based biotech company called Kamada. NASDAQ designation is KMDA. What is Kamada? Despite having gone public on the NASDAQ in 2013, Kamada is still a pretty small company with a market cap of something. This is from the Motley Fool. Interesting. A TikTok Microsoft deal might solve everything. This is an opinion from Bloomberg. It looks like the TikTok spin-out scenario is fully in play. For weeks, White House officials, including Secretary of State Mike Pompeo and President Donald Trump, have raised the prospect of a ban on ByteDance Limited's TikTok app in the U.S., citing national security issues, rightly so. If a TikTok Microsoft deal, would that completely take China out of the picture? Because anything less than that wouldn't solve anything. Featured, sign up for the Yodel. The Yodel, a daily roll-up of news, sports, finance, and more going on in your world. A quick read that you'll finish before your first cup of coffee. I looked at it, and I wasn't feeling it. What's hot? Oh, it's Yahoo Search. Yahoo Search for the most affordable quote for home and auto insurance. And Yahoo Search for huge sales on cubicle partitions. So that you can isolate people even when they're together. Together, but alone. Trending. Tito Ortiz, Catherine Zeta-Jones, coronavirus, Alessandra Ambrosio, Bev Barnum, Service Dog Certification, Alicia Silverstone, Toyota RAV4 sale, Barry Weiss, 2020 Toyota Tacoma. People search for Toyota on Yahoo Search quite a bit, it seems. Moving on to the Daily Yahoo for August 2nd. That was today, Sunday. As more schools stay online, one that opened now has a virus problem. On the first day of classes, the county health department notified Greenfield Central Junior High School in Indiana that a student had tested positive for the coronavirus. Oh no, worst case scenario. Schools need to be open. This is one. And I don't understand how this is a problem for this school, because if it's the first day of classes, the county health department knows that this one student has tested positive. So surely the student knows, so why would the student be at the school? And even so, schools are implementing the whole social distancing thing. I seriously doubt that this is really a virus problem at this school. Yes, demons sleep with people, insists Texas doctor who impressed Trump. I know nothing about her, but her voice should be heard, Trump said of minister-physician Stella Emanuel, who calls hydroxychloroquine a COVID-19 cure. First, they censored and hid all postings of the video, and now that they've had a little time to do some digging, they can talk about it because they can make her sound stupid and crazy. First censor, then discredit. Honestly, personal religious beliefs don't necessarily have to take anything away from one's medical, from an actual doctor's medical prowess. It depends on the belief, but believing in demons I don't think it's one of those things that should detract from what you might say professionally. And in the video, she doesn't say anything crazy. She says that she has treated successfully many, many patients with this medicine. It's a very weird little thing that's happening just because a few months ago Trump said that hydroxychloroquine was looking promising. And all of a sudden, everybody went crazy. Marlon Reyes, deckhand on Deadliest Catch, dies at 38. Marlon Reyes, a deckhand on Discovery Channel's reality show Deadliest Catch, died on July 27th. He was 38. Reyes' wife confirmed to TMZ that he suffered a massive heart attack in his hometown of Whitefish, Montana, on July 25th and was rushed to the hospital. Massive heart attack at 38. Damn. Texas, say bye to expensive solar panels. Do this instead of buying expensive solar panels. It's absolutely genius. This program has power companies furious. From Energy Bill Cruncher. Brad Garrett says Ellen DeGeneres' mistreatment of staff is common knowledge. The Everybody Loves Raymond star claimed to know more than one who were treated horribly by the embattled talk show host. Okay. This just goes on. Keep piling on. TikTok owner reportedly agrees to sell U.S. stake to avoid ban. Updated. ByteDance has reportedly agreed to give up its U.S. stake in TikTok to prevent a ban, and Microsoft would protect the data. Okay, so that's what this Microsoft thing is about. I wonder. An increasing number of Walmart stores are banning overnight RV parking over the last decade, according to data. It's a usual thing for people to park their RVs overnight at Walmart stores. The number of Walmart stores that allow overnight parking has decreased from 78% in 2010 to 58% now, according to data from overnightrvparking.com. Okay. Sad for the RVers. Featured. Know where the candidates stand. I really don't trust you, Yahoo, to tell me where the candidates stand. Election day is coming. Make sure you're up to date on all the issues and candidates. With focused articles from trusted sources on Yahoo News. Trusted sources. And Yahoo News in the same sentence. Isn't that hilarious? Oh, what's hot? Yahoo search. Charlize Theron, Vanessa Morgan, coronavirus, Stefania Spampanato, Arsenal, Chelsea, paralegal certificate programs, Adrian Palicki, Kate Goslin, steel building kits, online universities. And we have one more of these because for some reason I was sent 2 different ones to 2 different emails. Should you pair goggles with your face mask to protect against the coronavirus? Doctors weigh in. Well, seeing as how the face mask doesn't actually protect you against the coronavirus, sure, you might as well keep it out of your eyes, I guess. As coronavirus cases continue to mount in the U.S., goggles are not as restrictive as a face mask. Eye protection could become a standard form of PPE, according to some medical professionals. You know what? Why don't they just cut to the chase and have everybody put on those full body suits? You know, just go ahead and do that because that's where we're headed. The more you increase the fear, the more you're going to have to increase the perceived protection. Trump is maiming U.S. democracy. That sounds like objective journalism. Trump is not going to follow through on his threat to delay the election, but his attack on our democracy is still going to do damage to the country. So level-headed. Very down to earth. It wasn't a threat. I believe it was a suggestion for extremely valid reasons. Mail-in voting has proved to be a problem all summer. Thousands of votes not getting counted. Actual fraud happening. But he's just trying to attack our democracy. It's not a democracy. It's a constitutional republic. British Airways pilots vote to accept jobs deal. The agreement means the airline will cut pay by 20% temporarily and make about 270 redundancies. I'm not sure what redundancies are. But good on those pilots for accepting temporary pay cut. That's more than some athletes were willing to do. Storm Isaiah's. Why isn't it Isaiah? Why is it Isaiah's? Storm Isaiah's approaches Florida's coast. Isaiah's, downgraded from a hurricane but still a powerful tropical storm, churned toward Florida on Sunday, set to brush the state's east coast with strong winds and potential coastal flooding. On its current path, Isaiah's will move near or along Florida's east coast during something. 3 Ellen DeGeneres show executive producers accused of sexual misconduct by former employees. Oh, so at least this one isn't directed right at her. 3 executive producers at the Ellen DeGeneres show were accused of sexual misconduct by former employees in a story published by BuzzFeed News late Thursday. In the article, multiple former Ellen staffers who asked to remain anonymous for fear of retribution detailed incidents of sexual misconduct. Airlines take hit as IAG seeks to raise capital. KLM cuts jobs. 2 of Europe's biggest airlines ratcheted up their response to the coronavirus crisis, underscoring its deep impact and the urgent race to keep ahead of the financial repercussions. British Airways owner IAG SA set plans for a €2.75 billion, $3.3 billion rights offering. Election 2020. Yahoo. No thank you. What's hot? Yahoo search again. A boat loan. Refinance your boat loan with Yahoo search. And discounts on partition walls with Yahoo search. Trending now, Kate Blanchett, Mary Lou Whitney, coronavirus, Emily Ratajkowski, Dixie Carter. VA home lenders. That's Impact Wrestling's Dixie Carter? Oh, wait, she sold it, didn't she? So why? What is she doing? VA home lenders, Jessica Chastain, sell your car, Michael Douglas, cash out refinance. And okay, this is very interesting. I received these both, I believe, this morning, August 2nd. Trending now is all different stuff except for coronavirus at number 3. First of all, it's fishy that everything would be different, and then it's fishy that everything will be different except for coronavirus at number 3. This Yahoo, you are not all there. And that's it for Sundry Weekend News. Thank you, and good night.